Hi friends, welcome back. So we've got breaking news. Elon Musk is giving $45 million a month to help Donald Trump win the presidential campaign. Yes, you heard that correctly, $45 million a month. So $45 million at one time would be a lot, but a month is like really a lot. How long is this gonna go? Who knows? Maybe a couple months, maybe longer. Who knows? I mean, honestly, who knows? You can ask Mr. Musk. The one thing I think is really interesting about this is that this is going to a political action committee. So this is a PAC. And essentially, if you want to get around campaign finance rules, opposed to limiting how much an individual can give to a particular campaign, what you do is you just give it to a third party. Again, a PAC or a political action committee. In fact, Musk is forming his own third party. I don't know the name of it. I don't think it was reported anywhere. But essentially what he's doing is he's reaching out to his rich buddies and said, hey, rich buddies, let's make a new political action committee to support Mr. Trump to becoming our next president. And people are like, yeah, I'm on board. So the Winklevoss, or is it Winklevoss or Winklevoss? You guys know about the twins are on board. They're the ones who started Facebook with Zuckerberg, although there's a lawsuit, disputing that. So we'll just say the Facebook connected. However, I don't remember what the law. I think the lawsuit might have been, we don't know the exact ruling of the thing, but whatever. But they're doing it, and they're in crypto. I think they started a platform called Gemini. So the twins are involved. They also have one of the co-founders of Palantir is involved as well, because Musk knows a lot of these kind of people. And we'll see how many other people Musk gets on board on his PAC, again, to raise money for Donald Trump. Musk is giving $45 million a month. It really is that much. This is a really interesting one. I just made a video regarding this, that their relationship has been a bit rocky, talking about Musk and Trump. In the past, Musk said, Mr. Trump, you should just sail off into the sunset, right? And essentially saying, Trump, you're too old. Trump is like, hits back and says, yo, you build rockets to nowhere, your cars crash, and you're only rich because of government subsidies. So you should come and beg to me sometime. It was something like that. And the funny thing is that they actually met earlier this year. We talked about it. And Musk was a bit mum of what they talked about. It was kind of obvious, what would Trump want, and it was sort of, rumored, these kind of things. So Trump was like obviously looking for an endorsement. That's nothing shocking, because Musk said, oh, Trump wants what all politicians want, right? So Trump was looking for an endorsement, probably some campaign help here with finances. This is what we're finding with this PAC donation, $45 million a month. And then also too, they're probably talking about, okay, if I give you money, what are you going to do for me? That kind of stuff. Nothing shocking. And this is where it becomes really interesting, because I just made a video, but I want to reiterate again. Trump is in the Republican Party of the GOP, that is traditionally an oil and gas party, right? You guys know this is nothing shocking. Musk is the CEO of an electric car company. Typically, the party of oil and gas does not necessarily bode well for electric cars. Moreover, for example, Trump has been very critical of the Biden people for saying, yo, why are you making everyone drive electric cars? Why are you, trying to rub out the gas cars? It's just stupid. I hate those electric cars, right? That kind of stuff. And, for Musk, that's not so favorable for you. Moreover, right, from the Biden people, they give out EV tax credits, right? So if you go and you want to buy an electric vehicle, you get a bit of help from the government, you're subsidized there. That helps out Mr. Musk. So will the Trump party, right, the Republicans, will they change their stance on electric vehicles and give out tax credits for electric vehicles? We'll find out. That's an interesting one, right? We'll see what $45 million a month can buy you. The Republican Party constituents, right, the people who vote that way, tend not to be fans of EVs. They tend to be more gas vehicles, which is fine. That's what they're into. Moreover, you got people who are into pickup trucks, that kind of stuff, not necessarily a Cybertruck. It's just not the demographic that buys Teslas. So this is where it's kind of interesting. Are you going to be able to buy influence to convince Republican voters to go all electric? Who knows, right? But traditionally, they're not. There was some polling data from Pew Research. I showed you guys before. I'll just mention it again. 2/3 of the Republicans, they say, if we go renewable energy, solar, these kind of things, everything's going to cost more, so therefore they don't want it, right? And, which is a reasonable thing. It costs too much for them, is what they think. Also, too, Republicans tend to be climate change deniers. That's been a big thing of their party. They're just not interested in talking about climate change. They want it erased from any kind of mention. It's just not something that we deal with, right? And what's interesting is because people often who buy electric vehicles and want to get into solar, renewables, etc., care about climate change. That's a thing for some people. right? And so like, can Musk flip the Republican Party to care about climate, to care about renewables, to care about electric vehicles, these kind of things? Can he flip the Republican Party? Maybe, guys, maybe. I don't know. Well, that's what we're going to find out. And someone mentioned before, does Mr. Musk even care about said issues? Who knows? Maybe. The one thing I think is really funny about these things is because you have different interests. So, for example, if Musk is interested in saving Tesla, doing good things for Tesla, etc., you want to be buying your government subsidies. You want to be buying deregulation. Also, too, Musk is under investigation for various things over at Tesla for like harassment problem policies, under investigation for false advertising. Advertising full self-driving when it doesn't really work as advertised. Like, it's not full self-driving. It's in beta, and you're literally, the name of the thing is full self-driving. You're also too under investigation for the Twitter deal. Were you buying shares ahead of time? Because like what it is like you buy shares, and once you pass a certain threshold, I think it might be 6 or 7% ownership, something like that. You pass a certain threshold, you gotta announce it publicly that you're taking up stake in said thing. So Musk said, oh, I thought we were going to do the paperwork, but it's a little bit late and whatever. But basically, they didn't file it on time, and he's under investigation for that. He's under investigation for all kinds of stuff. And Trump has faced investigations before, and when these guys get together, like, you know what? I really hate it when feds breathe down my neck. And like, oh yeah, I hate those feds. I hate it when the feds breathe down my neck, right? And they kind of have a little chat, and like, okay, so if you become president, how much money do you need to get the feds off my back? Guys, this is real. If I'm making anything up, please let me know. I always laugh at this stuff because sometimes the fanboys and fangirls act like I'm just like making random stuff up. Guys, $45 million a month buys you a lot of influence. So get the Fed off your back. Try to get some policies in your favor. What else? Musk is involved with SpaceX. So Trump is a Space Force guy. That's something that Trump is all about, Space Force. And maybe Musk has cut some sort of deal for SpaceX to be like the sole supplier for Space Force. Look at all those government contracts, And the funny thing about this stuff, guys, oftentimes the Republican Party, they're all about, you got to lift yourself by your bootstraps. Those people those welfare people who take government handouts and stuff like that. Oh, those awful people, man, they just feeding and living off the government. You guys, yeah, I'll, if you don't understand what I'm saying, I'll just make it really clear. When the government subsidizes a company, you could certainly classify that as a handout, right? It's not anything that hard to figure out. The argument that you'll make is like, well, but they're creating jobs and they're doing good work. Hey guys, fine, no problem. But to say you're handing out people money just, for example, to buy food so their kids can go to school, and we're talking about very small money for stuff like that. I'm just giving for example. Or say, hey, we're just handing out people money for Social Security or Medicare, these kind of things. Let's just be honest. When the government's giving Musk money the same way government gives other people kind of money, it just depends who you want people and which people do you want to receive said money. Let's be honest here. The other thing too is Musk. He needs to sell some shares. He's got some people to pay back for the Twitter deal, namely Morgan Stanley and others. But Morgan Stanley is one of the big ones that he owes money to. And when you're someone like Musk, who's got tons of shares of Tesla, or otherwise, if SpaceX goes public, it wouldn't be bad if you bought some influence to get some tax breaks for you, right? Be it wealth tax sort of thing or any number of things. So, for example, this is something that wealthy people do like Mr. Musk, and I mean like billionaire wealthy kind of thing. Is you build up a bunch of net worth via stock, and then you live off loans, and you're leveraging your stock on said loans. And the discussion has been, should these people be taxed on their options in stock, right? And it's an interesting question, and you can go through numbers, that kind of stuff, right? So if you want to just completely kill any of that kind of legislation, because this is, again, I'm just being honest with you guys, because sometimes people don't think these things are just, it's not part of their lexicon or thinking. Wealthy people have very good accountants, and they have all kinds of ways to dodge taxes, or all kinds of ways to work the numbers to where they pay less, all kinds of ways. Like, for example, Musk has a foundation set up that's supposed to donate money to said places, but it's just a dummy corporation or a dummy foundation, what you call it. But it's, I mean, you can look it up. I think it's called like Musk Foundation or something like that. I can't remember exactly what the name was called, but if you go to the website, it's not a real website at all. And I think they have like one staff member. It's not a real foundation. It's like, in contrast, and you guys should know this, like Mr. Gates, Bill Gates, he gives out a lot of money. Like the Gates Foundation, they give out tons of money. The Musk people and his foundation, it's not really. it's just to say Musk isn't known for his philanthropy. But in this case, to be fair to Mr. Musk, giving $45 million a month to Trump, that's quite a bit of money, you know? And so what's in it for Musk, right? Obviously, from Musk's point of view, he'll say, well, I'm just here to save America. I'm a patriot, right? That's a pretty good patriot, I guess. But and you know, I can make jokes all that stuff all the time, but you know, I come from the world and the come of thinking that when someone's buying that much influence of politicians, you're getting something from it. You're not just giving it out for the kindness of your heart. If Musk was really giving out that kind of money of the kindness of his heart, just to be perfectly frank, he would just give it to save, just for example, a cancer hospital. Why not, right? Buy a cancer hospital, make all treatment there for people with cancer, or cancer research free, something like that. And if you have a particular issue that you think you should be giving that, just for example, money to, please let me know. But I'm just saying, you know, for many people, they give out money to get benefits for themselves and not just freely donating money out of the kindness of the heart. Very few people give that kind of money to a politician and not expect anything in return. So I am sure there's some sort of deal made, and we'll kind of get leaks out of that. Because also when you get this money moving around hands, there's a lot of people that know about these things, and ultimately, you know, someone comes out and says something. The last thing I want to mention too, which is I think quite fascinating, this is my pure conjecture. If Musk keeps going down the path of getting into politics, I wouldn't be shocked if he ran for governor of Texas. Well, why not? Why not, Mr. Musk? Why not? I wouldn't be shocked. Remember Schwarzenegger did it too. The same kind of, you know, big personality kind of person. He was a governor of California. Why not Musk, governor of Texas? I say why not? So I wouldn't be surprised there. If he stays involved in the PAC game, he might really like it, right? Because this is something that happens, right? Musk is, I think he's 52. He's getting older, and you want new phases of your life. So right now, I think his phase of his life, bored with Tesla because he spends most of his time on Twitter and just hang out doing social media stuff, that kind of things. And then maybe he really likes talking about politics on social media, right? Why not? That's just what he's into right now. And he's like, you know what? I got the money. I'm going to run for governor. So I think, in my opinion, that would not be beyond him. And I think people in Texas would probably vote for him because he's already got name recognition. And why not? You know. And if you don't have enough voters in Texas, make more kids, and you can get those people to vote for you that way. I make joke. Hey, that's another thing that Trump and Musk have, in common. They both have kids with multiple women. I can't say that. I can't. They both have the feds breathing down their neck, right? They both had multiple companies. They've both had many. How can I say? Business partners who some like them, some don't. They've both had a lot of lawsuits against them, those kind of things. So also too, Musk doesn't like to pay employees in some cases, doesn't like to pay severance packages. Sometimes employees sue Mr. Musk to hey, give me my severance packages, and Musk will ridicule them on Twitter. Mr. Trump is the same kind of way. He's like, man, I'm not paying you. I'm not paying you. Why you keep asking? And the argument and I've heard it from Eric. You'll hear this kind of stuff. And if you guys don't know, so Musk, Trump, and myself all went to the same school, University of Pennsylvania. I always mention that, and I know people who don't go to these places, you have no idea what I'm talking about, because you say, oh, why does Chris always mention it? It's so stupid. Chris is so dumb. The reason I mention stuff is because I've been around these kind of people, guys. I know this kind of people. So the reason why you wouldn't pay someone, just one rationale, I'm not saying I agree with it because I don't, but one rationale would be, well, we hired someone to do the job and the job came back and they just didn't do a good enough job. And so I just figured, I'm not going to pay for that. and I get the logic of that, but, the other person might be like, I did a pretty dang good job, and I don't know what the F this person's talking about. Just pay me my money that you promised me, that kind of thing. So you guys can be the judge of that. So anyway, $45 million a month from Mr. Musk to the Trumps, or I should say Trump, a super PAC that backs Trump, right? Not to Trump directly. Just want to make sure I get my language correctly there. What do you think that buys? Will Musk maybe be a cabinet member going forward? I would say if he's going to be, it would be like technology and innovation cabinet member if he's buying that. Andrew Yang actually suggested that to the Biden people. They rejected it, but it was floated around. So why not for Mr. Musk? Get a cabinet position while you're at it. Get benefits for your company, get benefits for yourself, and go for a cabinet position. And then later, hey, go for governor of Texas. So that's my recommendation to Mr. Musk. So please share your thoughts on this one. It's a fun one. Musk, $45 million a month to Trump. So thanks again, and I'll catch you all in the next video.